So this is Stephanie, she's going to be my model today. We're going to go through a few shoulder stretches to start out with. We'll go through a list of shoulder exercises that we really weren't able to get to last week since I wasn't here. We'll move on, do the same for the elbow, wrist, and the hand. And then we will cover a few functional and plyo exercises. Pay attention to the cueing and the coaching, things like that, because they will not be posted on the script that I give you, but they will be on the quiz. If that makes sense. So, first off, we're going to start with an internal rotation stretch. So what you're going to do, make sure you put pressure down on the humeral head. Grab the elbow here. What usually I do is I'll kind of like put my thumb long way down the forearm, and then just kind of push in like that. If you don't put pressure here, as your shoulder comes up, we're getting no stretch there. So it's going to be right here. You're going to hold that. Probably 3 sets of 30 seconds to a minute. All right, external. You're going the opposite, but you're also going to brace the humeral head. If you don't brace the humeral head and you crank too far, the labrum at wrist and the rotator cuff as well. So you're going to brace the humeral head down here. Same form, thumb down the forearm, and then just push with the thumb while bracing the elbow with your hand. Push and catch on rotation. Flexion extension, you're going to hang the shoulder off the table. So with an extension stretch, we're going to bend the elbow and come back. You can do it straight elbow as well, but what's important here is use your hand to brace the scap into the body and then go back. Okay. Bent elbow will hit the tricep. Bent elbow will hit one shoulder. Flexion, we're going to do the opposite here. We don't necessarily have to brace the scap for this one. We're going to come down. I know you can't see it very well in the video. Just bring the arm down into flexion like that, keeping the elbow straight. Okay, and that's going to hit that proximal bicep tendon into your delt. Even pec minor to an extent, but we can do those too. Speaking of pec minor, probably would cover that. I'm not going to do it yet. Alright, so for horizontal adduction, what we're going to do is we're going to come across the body. You can see your shoulder come up. That means we're getting more stretched more in the rhomboids than in the actual posterior shoulder. What you want to do, you're on the table here, you're actually going to brace the scap down to the table where it's not moving. Come across, that's going to hurt. It's going to be a real strong stretch in the back of the shoulder. But it's really the only way to hit the shoulder specifically and not the rhomboids, not the scap. Horizontal abduction, then it's going to be the opposite here. You're going to brace your shoulder down so the shins are just going to come up like that. So you're going to brace your shoulder, come across here, and you can do it up in more of a Y. Hit the pec. Okay, so let's get over a little more. This one's specifically for the pec minors. And you're just going to get around here and just push down on the elbow. And that's going to stretch out the pec, specifically the pec minor, but also to an extent the pec major. So we're going to do is pendulum swing. So I want you to bend over and kind of hang your arm down. Right, pick an arm, there you go. You're just going to swing and start small circles and go big, passively swinging. It's important here that they're not actually using their shoulder to make the movements. You're generally just going to sort of swing the body and rotate the body to make the arm hang. Something that could help here, let's make it a little easier for the patient, or even challenge them a little more and extend that range of motion, is add some sort of very light weight to the hand, because that's going to increase the momentum there in that swing and make the swing a little bigger. All right, Stephanie, let's go over here. We're going to do cane or T-bar stretches. So if the cane stays in one piece, then we will be a lot better. Let's use this instead, because I lost the other piece. All right, so what we're gonna do, first stretch into horizontal abduction here. Right, so we can come across the shoulder and that's gonna stretch the pec. It's more of a, it's a self-stretch, so it's more helpful for the patient to be able to do it on their own because they can do it at home. All right, move into flexion here. That's going to hit more of the bicep. Same thing as what we're doing on the table for flexion. Do external rotation. So like, there you go. And then an external rotation stretch there. Those are the big three we're going to hit with a cane or a T-bar. Should be helpful for the patient to be able to do it. Now Stephanie's going to demonstrate the pulley stretch. So bring your arm up into flexion first, so out in front. Good. Back down. Now come out to the side. So that's flexion, and this is going to be abduction. So just like out here, and then pull with the other hand. Good. All right. Now come on back down. Internal rotation here. So arm behind the back. I know it's tough, a quick adjustment.
There we go.
There you go. All right, and then pull with the other hand. That's gonna bring you up into internal rotation here, as we can see. All right, and it's probably gonna be it for the pulley. All right, so something to remember here, that's important. First off, make sure the pulley length is long enough where they're not getting over pulls. Limit range of motion to what it needs to be limited to. But first and foremost, in this situation, make sure nobody comes through that door. So when it comes to the door, it's gonna be a bad deal for everybody. All right, so here's your Apley strap. Okay, so for Apley's exercise or Apley's stretches. So first off, we're gonna start arm behind the back, the other side of the strap above your head. Good, and you're just gonna pull up. Good, that's gonna hit internal rotation. Okay, now other way, arm over your head, reaching down your back. You're gonna use your other arm to pull. Good, and that's gonna hit more external rotation. Okay, last one, arm across here, other arm behind your back, use the pull. So you're gonna have to over your shoulder.
Yeah.
There you go. And you're just gonna pull that arm across the chest. Good. All right, and those are the athletes. Next thing we're gonna demonstrate is wall isometrics. So what you're gonna do is, good, right there. This is gonna be external rotation. You're just gonna push against the wall. You're gonna maybe count to 10. 3 sets of 10 of that, or however much you feel is appropriate for the patient. Okay, that's external rotation. Internal rotation on the other side, all we're doing is just pushing the other way. Remember, there's no movement here. That's what makes it isometric. All right, flexion. So put your fist into the door frame like that. Good. That's gonna be flexion. You're just moving forward. Remember, this is shoulder flexion, not like elbow flexion. So your elbow's gonna be nice and straight. Okay, and then the other way, pushing it to the back of your hand against the. Good, and this is shoulder extension isometric. All right. Good. All right, now we're gonna do side lying external rotation and internal rotation. So Stephanie, why don't you hop up here, lie on your side. It's called side lying because you're lying on your side. Okay. Something to remember here, sorry for the weird shot, is put that under your elbow. We're gonna bolster the elbow like that. So make sure the shoulder stays in a healthy range of motion. Okay, and this is gonna be external rotation here. Good. We're gonna use generally a light dumbbell. Remember this, the external rotators, or for hitting the rotator cuff specifically, we can't go heavy, we gotta go small. Because the rotator cuffs are small, you go heavy, you end up using compensating muscles. All right, switch hands with the dumbbell. Kind of bring your elbow out in front of you just a little bit, other elbow, sorry. Good, so just kind of out here. Good, and then internal rotation with that arm. Okay, start like here. And then internally rotate up to 90, or that's fine too, get a good stretch on the other end. Okay, it's kind of up to patient preference, patient comfort, whether you do that or not. Okay, all right, hop up for me, grab the other dumbbell. Good, drop that. Okay, stand up, and we're gonna go into flexion with both arms. Okay, so this is gonna be dumbbell shoulder flexion here. Sorry. Good, all right, let's go scaption. So that's here, like 45 degrees. A little more, a little more, a little more. Right at 45, that's the scapular plane. We're gonna come up there, okay? And then we're gonna go out here to abduction. So forward a little bit, or just like even in a T. All right, now face that way, kind of bend over a little bit, and you're gonna go straight back with your shoulders. So shoulder extension like here. Good, and that's gonna be dumbbell extension. All right. This is gonna be banded internal rotation. Remember to bolster the elbow again and come across. Good. You might need a smaller bolster, kind of depending on the size of the person. Hers is kind of hitting her forearm a little bit. You could go like maybe a towel roll or something like that for someone that's maybe got a little bit of a shorter upper arm, like a female patient. If you're working with like a big football or basketball player, that's not gonna be an issue. Okay, switch sides. So that's internal rotation, and this is banded external rotation. Good. Make sure you keep it tight right there, because in this one, you can abduct your shoulder to cheat and retract the shoulder blades there, which actually is a good point. Make sure you're keeping your scaps pinched while you're doing all this stuff. Okay, and I'll take the bolster from you. Okay, now we're gonna do flexion. So, facing that way. and we're just doing shoulder flexion here. Okay. So this is gonna be banded shoulder flexion right here. Okay, and then face the other way. And this is gonna be banded shoulder extension. Good. All right, now bring your arms up to shoulder level, and you're gonna do horizontal adduction with a band. Good, come across. And that's gonna work the chest. Mainly the clavicular fibers of the pec are gonna be hit with that. All right, switch arms. A little tight. There you go. Horizontal abduction with this one. Gonna hit the posterior shoulder, rhomboids, things like that. Okay. We're gonna do regular abduction. Keep it in that hand. Or yeah.
Oh.
This is just gonna be straight shoulder abduction. Good. And then switch hands and step away. And this is gonna be adduction. So yeah, up. There you go. And down. Yeah.
Too close.
All right. Banded rows. So grab the other band. There you go. All right. So you're gonna start here. Remember to slide your forearm parallel to the ground. Don't bend your elbow anymore. I mean, it's all gonna be straight in a nice straight line, pulling your elbows back. Good. All right, keep going. Okay, you're gonna cue the patient by just putting your fingers here on the rhomboids. Okay, notice she's pulling her shoulder blades back. All right, now you're gonna pull back and go into external rotations. This is banded ER, or banded rows to ER at 90, or at side, sorry. Good. Okay, now row back in a T and do it. Good, and this is banded ER at 90. All right, last banded exercise we're gonna do for the shoulders, the no money exercise. So Stephanie, you're going to bring your arms back into external rotation and point your thumbs back towards the wall in a rotational motion. Good, right there. So yet again, cueing is going to be right here at the rhomboids. Try to have the patient squeeze your fingers between the scaps if they're not using their scapular stabilizers. One more banded exercise we're gonna demonstrate is the eyes, wides, T's, A's. So eyes are gonna be straight overhead with arms straight. Good, do a couple reps of those. Y's are gonna be out at 45 degrees. Good. Thumbs pointing back the whole time. That's important here. Make sure you're squeezing. If you squeeze your core, your scaps will squeeze automatically. So make sure the person is squeezing their core, ab brace, like they're gonna get punched, okay? T's. T's gonna be straight back. Looks like a T. Crazy. And then thumbs pointing forward, you're gonna go back at about a 45-degree angle from your side. So out a little more to right here. Good, and that's gonna be A's. It's gonna be wall rows. It's gonna be working the unilateral rhomboid. So what we're doing here, we're gonna cue, she's got her shoulder coming up. We're gonna cue her to keep her shoulder down. Use her lower trap and lat to keep her shoulder down, and squeeze specifically with the scap. Also cue ab brace here. Make sure they keep their abs tight. Like I said, like they're gonna get punched, okay? All right, Stephanie, come over to the table. Next thing we're gonna do is called bat wings. So you're just gonna hang your arm off, your shoulder off the table. You bring your arm up to 90, holding a weight that you can lift several times. Remember, we're working endurance here. We're not working size or strength. So what you're gonna do is very small motions, about 2 inches, 4 inches, yeah, 6 inches, good. You're just moving up and down like that. Now, for these two exercises, it's more important to do 20 sets of 1 than 1 set of 20, because you want to make sure form doesn't suffer. If she goes and goes and goes and doesn't really think about it as she's going, she starts to overcompensate, maybe starts to shrug, use that levator more, and that's an issue, okay? We're going to start off with elbow flexion. You can do these with a band, you can do these with a dumbbell. It's just going to sort of progress. You're probably going to start more with a band when you're going through full range of motion. Once you achieve that full active range of motion, you can start resistive. You're going to start more with the bands and move up to the dumbbells. So why don't you go ahead and get started for us here. These are just regular curls, supinated curls, you could say, that are going to hit the bicep. All right, turn your hand over. These are pronated curls that are going to hit more the brachialis. And then thumbs up. These are hammer curls, and that's going to hit the brachioradialis. Triceps, we're going to start with tricep kickback. So I want you to kind of bend over a little bit to about 45. Keep your forearms, or your upper arms parallel with your spine, and you're going to extend your elbows. Good, and back. Good. Those are tricep kickbacks. Okay. So now grab the green band up here. And these are going to be tricep push downs. So what you're going to do, keep your hands together. And good. And just extend your elbows down. Good. Tricep push downs there. Okay. Now face the other way. Hands above your head. Holding the green band still.
How far? All the way this way?
Yeah. Okay. Hands back together. Step forward a little bit. Good, elbows bent. Now all you're gonna do is just extend your elbows against the green band. Good. You can progress this to actually going elbow extension and then shoulder. So shoulder extension, I guess. So moving forward. Good. All right, now let's hop back over here on the table. As we're progressing through this, we might move on next to like an overhead extension with a dumbbell or with some sort of free weight. So go ahead and hop up. Pretend that's a bigger weight. You're gonna go behind your head here, and you're just extending straight up. Good, and that's gonna hit the tricep there. Good. Another progression of the triceps, we're progressing eventually to doing more like bench press or pushing exercises. You're gonna do the banded or the dumbbell floor press. So, elbows at 90 to your side. You're gonna press straight up into the air with both hands. Good. All right. Can you go to full extension? There you go. Make sure you're going all the way to full extension so you don't limit your strength. All right. If you do this, arms abducted to 90, you're gonna hit the chest more. I'm not gonna make Stephanie do it because it'll pop that band right off her shoulders. So you can do this with dumbbells as well. Something that's important is make sure your elbow goes all the way back down to the ground before pushing back up. Okay, if we're doing this on the floor or if we're doing it on the table, make sure it comes all the way down to the table. All right, so hop up. Next thing we got is drag curls. All right, so you're gonna start with the bar down mid-thigh, just like a normal bicep curl. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually slide the bar up your body to about your belly button and then finish up the curl there. Good, so it's 2 phases up, 2 phases down. Good, all right, so next up we have incline curls, but we're not going to actually demonstrate incline curls. It's pretty simple. You lay back on an incline bench and you just let your arms hang straight down, so you're actually going through the motion starting in a little bit of shoulder extension and then going through, and that's going to isolate the bicep more. All right, let's head over here to back to the TheraBand wall. Let's take this so we can do this over here as well. All right, so for bicep pull downs, you're gonna grab the green band on top. You might take a knee so you can get a little lower under it. Good. Palms facing you. You're gonna go all the way up and all the way back down. We're pretty much simulating chin ups here. Good. All right, hop up. Kettlebell lowers are an eccentric exercise for the bicep. So go ahead and take that. You're gonna start, get to the top however you wanna get to the top. That's not important. All right, bicep facing, or palm facing behind you, I'm sorry. And you're gonna come down to 90-90, straighten the arm, lower to the ground, and hoist it back up however you want to. Good, and that's 1, okay? Good, and that's gonna be an eccentric bicep work, especially for the proximal bicep tendon, which is gonna be more of a shoulder. Stephanie wants you to demonstrate a flexor stretch here. Good. If I was stretching her, I could, let me give you a little help here. Pull her back into, relax that hand. There you go. Pull her back here, and that's gonna hit that entire chain. Okay, now do an extensor one. Good, same thing there. I could go overhead to stretch out the entire chain. All right, prayer stretch. Why don't you demonstrate that for us? what you're gonna do, good, put your hands flat together and move them down, and that's going to stretch you up into wrist extension. All right, back of the hands together, and this is gonna be the opposite, and come up. And that's gonna stretch you into wrist flexion. Okay, so we're just gonna do banded supination, pronation. Pretty simple. To add a dumbbell, you just hold one end of the dumbbell and then move it around, but we're gonna start with band if Stephanie stocks hold up. All right, so just rotate back and forth, good. All right, now switch sides of the band. You're gonna wanna, when you change directions, you're gonna wanna switch sides of the band is coming into your hand. So for one, it's gonna come out under your thumb. For one, it's actually gonna come through at your fifth. Right, good, yeah, exactly. All right, now between your fingers, and you're gonna do flexion extension here. Good, and then flip over, and that's wrist extension. Okay, what is next? Radial ulnar deviation. So you might hold the band in the other hand, and then just kind of be here, and then flip around in here. Yeah. So get off of the, yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, now, so hold it in one hand. Good, and then move that into, that's ulnar deviation there, and then flip your hand over, or you can do that way too, yeah. And that's radial deviation, okay? All right, so grab the weighted bar there. For weighted bar supination, pronation, you're just gonna hold one end of it and go back and forth. Good, super simple. Now for weighted bar radial ulnar deviation or sledgehammer curls, you come back towards the head, back up, back towards the head, and back up. Stretch into finger flexion. This is for the hand and fingers. Good, and then extension, pull back. Good. All right. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna move over here to the rice bucket. Just kind of slide your hand down into the rice, and it's gonna give you some constant resistance moving through flexion and extension. So you can't see what she's doing, but she's moving into flexion and extension. Just trust me, okay? All right, moving on from there. We're going to do fingertip touches. So you're going to move your thumb to your different fingertips here, right? That's for finger dexterity and for like more precise movements. You can give her a pattern, you know, make your patient do like different patterns or things like that, just to make it a little more difficult for them, okay? Next thing up is gonna be putty squeezes. So you're just gonna move through. You can use your whole hand for power grip. You can actually use individual fingers to squeeze as well for the more precision grip. Okay, good. Next is gonna be ball squeezes. Now, I didn't grab a tennis ball or anything like that. If you do use a tennis ball, you're not gonna get through your full range of motion. The resistance will be more variable and not as constant, but I did bring my little stress buff. I don't necessarily have a stress ball, I use a stress buff. And you're gonna go through, and this is also gonna be more of that power grip. Okay, good. All right. Mechanical gripper is next. So you're gonna get one of these hand grippers that you can get at Walmart or wherever. We have several in here. And this is also going to be power grip. Okay, you can do this all day. It does squeak a lot, this one in particular, which means I don't use that a whole bunch, but it is here. All right, web squeezes. This is a finger web here. You can also find some that are smaller and specifically target, what you want to target, but you just kind of slide your fingers in and you're gonna squeeze. Good, and now extend. So that's web extensions, okay? Pinch holds. So you're going to grab your stress buff and just pinch and hold, okay? That's gonna work more precision grip and more the endurance of that precision grip, being able to use those fingers specifically for precision. And then last is gonna be marble pickups. So toss out the rocks, and you can strategically use, say, your middle finger or your ring finger and your thumb to pick up different rocks, marbles. We have rocks in here right now. You can also get in between, like your first and second finger, your second and third finger, and place them in. So good. Starting functional exercise, we're gonna have Stephanie face away from the TheraBand wall and go through her throwing motion, throwing to the opposite hip. Good. All right, now switch around, face front. Now we're actually gonna go through the eccentric portion of it, going through the wind up. So you're gonna come back like that. Good. All right, let's move over to the trampoline. Grab a comfortable med ball. Okay. And we're going to work chest pass against the trampoline. Good. Now go overhead. Good. Remember, we're going to start with chest pass and go overhead because the stable's more shoulder is more unstable above the head. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is internal rotation throws at 90. So, or at side, I'm sorry. So come across internal rotation of the shoulder there. Good. Catch. Good. Now face the trampoline and do them with shoulder abducted to 90. Good. Right there. All right, now external rotation throws at side. Oh, keep going. There you go. Good. All right. External rotation throws at 90. You're gonna want to stand behind the patient and catch it, because if it goes off the trampoline, they're not gonna be able to catch it behind their back. So it's gonna be a little more complicated. So just go through external rotation, release the ball. Good. We're just gonna place back. Good. Place back. Good. Now, we're actually going to be able to progress eventually to tossing it back, which we're going to pretend I tossed it at you, because it is a little heavy for that. Now, can you catch? Oh, no, she can't catch. That's why we pretended. Next thing we're going to do, so go ahead and lay on the floor when you grab a med ball, when they keep filling. Alright, so we're going to use a heavy trainer for this one. Women's heavy trainer. And we just drop. She's going to load and chest pass it back. Good. Quicker. If it's quick, then it's plyometric. If it's slow, then it's not.